SPUFalcons.com here with head gymnastics coach Laurel Tindall. Coach, about to start another season of gymnastics. How have the fall and winter training gone?
You know, our fall went really well. We've had a couple inter-squad meets that gave a lot of people time to, show us what they did in competition. We have 6 new freshmen, so we really wanted to see, what they would do with a little pressure. And we had our last inter-squad right before we left for break, and we're about ready to start back into practices and have about 10 practices in our first meet.
This is, despite the fact you have 6 newcomers, this is a pretty veteran team. You have a lot of returning talent. Who do you expect among the returners to really have a good year?
We have Allie's back from an injury. Allie So's back from an injury, and she's hopefully contributing on 3 events. Tyndall has upped her game on a couple events, and right now is anchoring floor for us, and also doing beam and vault. Kenley as a senior is still hanging in there with good vault and floor routines. Maria is doing a great job. Hopefully maybe being all around this year.
And that's Maria Hundley, who was second in the vault at the MPSF Championships.
Right, yep.
You have your top 2 all-arounders, and Sydney Clark and Shannon Escara returning. What do you expect out of them?
Right. It's very possible neither of them will be all-arounds this year due to, just stepping up of everybody else and some injuries. So, we're not really sure whether, what we're going to have all-around wise, but we really have some, great performers on each event. Our freshmen are stepping up, and it looks like, all of them have the potential to compete, which is, is unusual in a freshman class.
Sure is. What can you single out 1 or 2 or a couple that you expect to make an impact?
Lauren Glover is, definitely right in there on 3 events right now. We're still working to get a bar routine, together for her. Christy Hayashida is doing a great job on beam and floor, and Tracy Villanueva is doing a great job on bars and beam.
Now, you did lose some people. Probably heading that list is Corinne Wise, an All-American last year. Just talk about the people you'll need to replace.
Yeah, we only lost a couple people, Corinne Weiss and Stephanie Wagner, but part of their loss is the positions they played on the team. Corinne was our leadoff on beam, and it's hard to find somebody that can lead off and be solid. So we're kind of, in our inner squads, we've been changing that lineup up a little bit to find that person that can get up there and do a really good job on leadoff. Wagner was our anchor on beam and bars. And so she was, our top kid that has to have that pressure of being last up in the lineup and the waiting time before you go up and everything. So things have changed around a little bit in terms of the pressure of that last person up on events and stuff.
Now, the leadoff and the anchor, are those things that people can pick up in practice, or will you not know until a meet to see if someone is?
Yeah, we really, we try to talk to kids. We try to find kids that are kind of unaffected by where they are in the lineup. They don't really care. Some kids make themselves more nervous by being later in the lineup and go, well, I don't want to go first, but I want to go 3rd or 4th. That's where I'm comfortable. And it's really a comfort thing. We obviously want to put them in a position where we feel they're going to do best. And some kids say, oh, I thrive on pressure. I can go last, put me last, and I like that pressure. I'm going to do better. So it's, but we don't want anybody to be in a space that we can't move them. We want to be able to make those shifts in lineup and find the right lineup in the right order.
Well, we talked about All-American you lost, but we should mention All-American you have returning in Bryn Larson, who did real well in the bars back at Nationals last year.
Yep, Bryn is still, still on our bars, and she, both of our All-Americans were in those crucial leadoff positions where they were people that were first up, which normally you put your weakest person first up, but we really like to put somebody who we feel can be really solid day in, day out in that first space and start us off well and set the tone for the lineup.
Now, what have you done since the Nationals? You guys, a lot of trainings. The girls are in the gym a lot. Are they adding new tricks, working on new routines? What have they been doing?
Definitely adding new skills, and that's where some of the seniors have upped their game by adding some new skills, making their routines worth more, getting higher start values on vault. We're crossing our fingers that our vault in our last inner squad, our vault lineup was 5/10 higher in just the start value of the vaults. So that's been always been a real problem for us. With our vaults were 9/8 start values, so we were losing basically over 5 scores. We were losing a point just before we even stepped on the floor. We were a point behind the team that had all 10-0 start values. And every other event, we have 10-0 start values on every routine.
Great. Well, and lastly, is this a team that can make it to nationals and perhaps even make it into that last day of the Final Four?
I really hope so. You know, always a lot depends on injuries, and you know, coming back from Christmas, I think we're going to be pretty healthy, which is good. We had an injury early on to senior Lisa Goodhue, tore her Achilles, so she's definitely out for the year. But other than that, other than the chronic aches, pains, and tendinitises and things, we've stayed pretty healthy with the major type of injuries. So if we can keep that up, then I think we have a lot to work with this year.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay.